Hi guys, so today we're gonna discuss makeup for romantic type of women. I'm gonna leave the link on my body types or Kibbe types playlist down below. Even if you're not romantic, that also can be pretty useful for you to watch. Because only by observing all the types, you can understand your type much better and actually be much more objective about your own body. Before I do all those different makeups on my own face, let's remember how romantic type women normally look. They're normally moderate to petite, body type is normally soft and voluptuous, hourglass figure normally, curvy bust line and hips with a small waist in proportion to the curves. Can be fleshy arms and legs. Bone structure is normally delicate and smallish, usually to the wide side. Rounded or sloped shoulders. Facial bones are small, delicate, and maybe slightly wide or lush. Nose, cheekbones, jawline. So your bone structure is not large. Because it's short, it looks pretty delicate. Facial features are normally lush, full, and sensual. Large eyes, full lips, fleshy cheeks usually have delicate skin tone that is luminous or translucent. Okay, I start doing my makeup. I've already applied my foundation. I'm starting with contouring my nose just because my nose is pretty dramatic shape. It's long and sharp. And romantics normally have shorter nose, soft looking, a button up, maybe on a wider side but still smaller. So I'm mimicking that with those shadows that I'm creating on my nose now. With that line, I give it some button up effect. Please keep in mind that most romantics have very gentle skin, so matte foundation or too thick foundation can look slightly heavy on them. Or if you have to do it heavy, you can later add some shimmer on top. Okay, now for contouring the cheeks. Romantics don't look very well if their contouring is very angular. You can immediately see those stripes, those lines on their faces. The best thing for them is to do it with a soft and rounded brush. I'm accentuating some shadows under my cheekbones. My face is also on a wider and softer side. The only difference here is I'm pretty thick-skinned and my face has many dramatic features as well, so you can see how I'm applying it with circular motion, almost like a regular blush basically. If you want, you can go for darker shades. Just make sure that you blend it very well with circular motions. Just repeat your natural bone structure. To give my face a uniform look as usual, I'm applying some contouring powder on the sides of my forehead and a bit on my neck. And right away after that, I'm applying the shimmer. This is what gives my skin that translucent effect. Very gentle and lightweight effect. I'm applying it even on my nose, not on the tip of my own nose. It would break the shape that I've created. I'm touching only those light parts on my nose. Basically, I'm applying it almost everywhere where I don't have a bumpy skin or some really visible lines on the surface. Now I'm taking my brow product. A bit later, I'm gonna show you some brow tips. I'm not making my brows too thin or too thick, and the color I use is pretty close to my roots color. It's not very dark and contrasted. As far as we're now making kind of no makeup look, I'm gonna apply some gloss on my lips. Of course, most romantic lips would look slightly different, so in many cases, you're good to go like that. Now I want to add some mascara. This mascara is lengthening and volumizing, but I'm not gonna do those heavy clumpy lashes now. I will try to make them very furry, noticeable long, but combed through. So for many romantics, this look is gonna work perfectly for every day. So next thing, I'm gonna add a little bit of lips. I chose just random dusty pink color. I think it fits everyone. Even though it's matte, the color is pretty fresh. It doesn't give a lot of heaviness to my face. That's another ready to go look. Now I'm gonna line my eyes with a thin brush and light eyeshadow, or maybe not very light. I can go between matte gray and matte brown, or you can take shimmery one. I think it will look also amazing. It's kind of an eyeliner for the daytime. We're going closer to that classic Hollywood makeup, but not still there yet. I'm doing that very delicate flick. It's important to do the makeup pretty delicate. Even if you go for a thicker liner, make sure you do it very neat and very classy. We need ornateness here. I'm adding some lashes. That's another look to go. Okay, next I'm adding some crease color. For that purpose, I'm choosing that brown neutral satin shimmery color. I'm applying it with a soft brush. I'm not drawing that crease necessarily. I'm just adding that soft shadow on top. I'm adding some peachy color to blend it more on top of the brow bone. I'm also adding some shimmer in the inner corners of my eyes. It gives that luminosity again, transparency, lightness. Now I'm adding that peachy color on the bottom. You can use whether matte colors or shimmery or satin finish. The only thing here is when you use matte, make sure you blend it very well. You know where to blend and the color will not be very heavy. Let's look at some famous examples of romantics. Of course, Marilyn Monroe, one of the most famous ones. I know she's done some surgery, but we have some pictures before that. Very soft, rounded, light, delicate, translucent skin, very gentle facial feature. Her nose was pretty short and slightly on a wider side. Of course, if we look at Marilyn Monroe example of makeup, besides of all those rules for romantic women we talk about today, she had her own signature touches to her makeup. And I think if we take all of the romantics, let's say, all of you guys, face. Each and every one of you, besides those rules, probably has her own signature touches to her makeup. Marilyn Monroe, of course, it's a good example of old Hollywood makeup, with that flick eyeliner, those luxurious red glossy lips. Interesting thing about Marilyn Monroe brows. From time to time, she was changing her brows. Sometimes the brows were very dark, very angular and precise shape, which added some weight to her face and some sharpness to her face. It was even more like that in a contrast with her platinum blonde hair. From time to time, she had much softer brows. A little tip here for you: if you feel that your face is too round or too puffy, don't make thin but dark brows. Darkness will add some heaviness to the face. Thinness of it will accentuate the excess skin that you want to slightly hide. What you want to do instead, make your brows middle size, maybe not super thick because that's more for natural type. Romantics' bone structure is still more delicate. It can give them not very neat look if they have their brows unplugged or super thick. But if you make them middle size and slightly lighter, that will do the trick. Because first of all, thicker brows will take away more excess skin visually, but the lighter color, of course, it has to match to your hair. I mean, just in general, especially for blondes. Marilyn Monroe sometimes would bleach her brows. I'm not telling you do that, but just in general, if you try, just make them slightly lighter. And that lightness will fit the visual weight of your face. Because despite of all the softness, the skin is pretty thin looking. So try to do that and let me know in the comments if you did and if that worked. Of course, if we look at Marilyn Monroe makeup, that was mostly old Hollywood makeup. Only closer to the 60s, she got rid of those red lips. She died in 1962, but she got that at the beginning of the 60s, when women started to do those huge bold eyes and very nude lips. And big volume on their hair, not necessarily curly hair, but more straight hair. This is what Marilyn started to try in the end of the 50s, which also looked very beautiful on her, I think, but she never did it too chunky or too bulky. The job on her eyes was done very neat and pretty ornate. This is the key. Otherwise, that would look not very neat and too heavy for that delicate face. More modern example, Beyonce. Let's look closer on her face. Parts of her face, everything. Her smile, the shape of her lips, the shape of her nose. Look at her cheekbones, look at her chin. Her skin doesn't look thick. It looks pretty thin and pretty transparent, very gentle. Of course, as a entertainer, she changes her looks very often, and she can have super bold, almost unblended makeup, along with some other types of makeup that probably would not fit romantic women. Let's say if you go party in the evening, probably that would be slightly too heavy, but as far as the whole look was done for the photo set, for a certain lighting, that's a different situation. We're not discussing that today. All we're trying to do is for you to try new things for yourself and finally find your signature makeup look. Romantic women, so as any other type, they don't have to look exactly the same. It's all about balance of yin, female energy, and yang, male energy. We are trying to find that balance. So we're trying to see the tendency, the majority, the direction. We're not robots. Okay, so now we're coming closer to old Hollywood classic makeup. I'm gonna line my eyes even more, even darker with black eyeshadow and wet thin brush. You can use liquid eyeliner. Just make sure the line would not be very chunky. I'm making that flick more sharp. Then I'm taking a dusty Bordeaux color lip pencil just to line my lips slightly darker because I'm gonna overdraw them a little bit. I need to make them slightly puffier. Now I'm applying that bright red lipstick. I decided also to give it some lip gloss, like in old Hollywood, but I know it's not very trendy nowadays. Matte lipstick is still more popular today. You just choose whatever you want for yourself. Who knows, maybe because of you, that heavy gloss will come back on trend. Now I'm adding some more brown color to my crease and under my eyes. You can also have lash extensions or put some false lashes on. I'm not gonna do that now, but if I was using that, I would choose half lashes, so they would be very fairy-like, very light, transparent in the ends, maybe slightly rich, but not very chunky and not super heavy. Okay, now we're gonna go to smoky eye makeup. I again put some foundation on my lips and then applied some nude lip pencil. Now I'm taking that neutral, slightly shimmery color, something between brown and green. You can use whatever you want. Depends on your skin color, on your coloration in general. For example, Ruth Nega, she has very bright coloration. And I'm pretty light, so I'm choosing this color. I'm applying it on top all over my lid, slightly to my brow bone. Also adding some on the bottom. Of course, I'm adding some mascara. If you want, you can make it even richer. And if you want, you can apply it on your waterline too. But if the color is black, it depends also on your coloration. Just make sure you check, does it look too harsh on you? If it does, then use with a lighter color in your waterline or don't use it at all. Alright, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Next video is gonna be very soon. Please stay tuned. I'm so happy I have now 500,000 subscribers. Thank you so much, guys. It took me a pretty long time actually to reach that number, so I'm pretty proud of myself. And it's only because of you guys who believed in me. Subscribe for my Instagram for more photos. Subscribe to my Pinterest. There are 13 inspirational boards for all 13 types. I'm gonna leave the link down below. Also, all the products I use for all these makeups, I bought myself. I never been sponsored by any makeup brands. And thanks to everyone who is supporting me on Patreon. That's such a help for me. I answer your questions, guys, there, so you can have a look there as well. Thank you so much. See you very soon. Bye-bye.